Welcome to the TLC Unleashed show, Hollywood Vibes, Sports and Life with your host, Tracy Lynn. This show is brought to you by Quest Nutrition. Cheat clean and make healthy eating fun with Quest Nutrition products. Good evening and welcome to the TLC Unleashed show, Hollywood Vibes, Sports and Life with your host, Tracy Lynn. We're live in the studio. I missed you guys last week. We were out of the station. We were preparing for some big things. We got a lot of stuff going on. As you can see, I have a very special guest tonight live in the studio. We're here in Los Angeles, California, and we have with us Gil Benzivi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes, this guy is, I can't believe when I look at you.
Yeah.
I just want to touch him and see if he's real and see, don't worry, I won't do it. I just talk about it. We were talking about being Wonder Woman back here, and so I was practicing my moves. I got a new hairdo, so...
Yes, ready for action. You're ready for action.
So speaking of ready for action, you've just released a series with Seth Rogen.
Well, it's not a series, it's a special. I was one of the actors in a special called Seth Rogen's Hilarity for Charity.
Yeah.
And that's to raise money for Alzheimer's.
Yes.
And it was the first one Netflix done. It's a Netflix original. Mm-hmm. It premiered on April 6th, but once it premiered on Netflix, you can see it anytime.
Yeah.
And it was very funny. A bunch of comedy skits that, and I was De Niro. So they were playing a game or showing, Seth was talking about how many big celebrities there are in the audience for this event, and he was making a joke of it, and I was the De Niro in the event, and a lot of people thought it was real during the show. And they put me on the big screen, and I was making my faces or whatever, but they thought it was real, and it was funny because these are people, a lot of them industry people or celebrities that couldn't tell the difference. And it was funny, it worked, and they cut a bunch of it out during the after they edited, but during the show, the energy of the crowd really picked up when they saw this. They thought it was like some surprise they threw at them.
I love it. So let's talk a little bit about your career. Did it start as an actor, or is this
it actually started as an actor. I was a kid. I did some movies. I was a lead in a few. I lived in different countries, so I did that, and then I did a little bit in the U.S., and then I did I did radio. I did radio. Okay. I did some radio. I did different shows, music shows, all kinds of shows in Orange County. And then I did a little bit in L.A. And then I kept on trying to do the acting and other stuff. And I also got involved in photography. Mm-hmm. And I've done all kinds of photography from music, television, acting, actors, fashion, businesses. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad because photography is like magic. It's like movies. Yes. You never know what you're going to get, but when you get something good, it's like lasts, like almost forever. And I'm glad that people find it exciting enough that I've passed 150 million views.
That's incredible.
And that's without really, there's no billboards, there's no advertising for me, there's nothing going on. So people actually are checking it out one way or another and enjoying it because I've got some nice comments. And it's spectacular because I think photography is like directing a movie. Mm. When you have the model or anybody there, you have to create kind of a scene, an atmosphere. Mm-hmm. So the energy, because a photo is not good enough just to look good. It has to convey some energy. It has to jump at you.
Yeah,
it has to pique your curiosity. And there's something magical about those photos. You can have a beautiful person and it's flat and you see it's pretty and you move on. But if it jumps at you, you pay more attention. You remember it more. And that's what I like about it. It's like a movie role.
It is very much so. Being on the other side of things, on the other side of the camera. So what do you find when you are a photographer? What really gets you to get that person to jump at the camera, to speak to the camera, so to speak?
Well, the way you talk to them, the way it's like directing. So they come in any kind of mood, right? You want them in a good mood, but they come in any good mood. But you can change people's mood by very quickly by the way what you tell them, right? Mm-hmm. If I told you, imagine yourself now starring in some $150 million blockbuster, right? Yeah. It's about to open, you just finished it. What do you feel right now? Mm-hmm. Come on, you're going to immediately feel something else.
You did that to me before
you
we
see,
started
don't
the
you
show.
feel better
I
now?
was Wonder Woman.
Don't you feel better now? You see yourself on the private jet heading to some press junket.
Oh, yes.
Saying,
I see that every day.
Ask me the same question again. I can't wait.
I love that. Okay, so we started as an actor and also photography. So where do we find your photography so we can get you more viewers?
Well, actually, you can just Google Gil Benzivi photography and probably send you to Model Mayhem site. This is one of the sites that amateurs to professionals put there, from models to photographers put there. This is one of those business sites. In there, you can see some of my pictures and then link to another site of mine.
Okay.
But you can just, Google that thing, and then from there, you can even do Gil Ben-Zvi Photography, Model Mayhem, or whatever, and it'll link you right there.
Okay.
Or, modelmayhem.com, Gil Ben-Zvi Photography. But you just look for it, you'll find it. You'll probably find some things that look to me like De Niro, because you may be...
Because you kind of look like him.
Yeah, like I look like him. I used to do movie reviews and TV reviews on the internet, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And instead of the people commenting about my review, a lot of them would comment about, what is De Niro doing movie reviews for?
You're like, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so did you evolve into this look? And
I think I looked for long, even as a younger person. If you look you can see on my Facebook my younger picture, and it looked like young De Niro, but I didn't notice it. Okay. It's only maybe, I would say 10, maybe 15, that people start stopping me on the streets because I don't know. I look like it, and when you tell them I'm not that person, they a lot of times say, "Well, we like it when you look this young, and we want that picture." and the funny thing is, as much as there's tourists, it's actually a lot of Americans. And the funny thing is the New Yorkers, because he's from New York, right? The New Yorkers, they want a picture, and they right away text them to their family or their friends in New York, and a lot of them think they ran into De Niro on the street.
That's funny.
And New Yorkers, it's amazing.
Yeah, I've actually been into his. He's got a little pub or bar in New York, and
he's a restaurant too.
Yeah, restaurant.
What is Nobu? He has the chain Nobu and Ago also.
Yes.
Ago, yeah.
Yeah, so those are actually really nice.
But I think it'd be amazing if me and him do a comedy or a drama. People would think that he's acting both roles, probably. Like if they did makeup on him, and he's like, how they shoot. People sometimes do multiple.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, so Tyler Perry does a lot of that, obviously.
Yeah.
He's very good at that. He's excellent.
Yeah.
So 10 to 15 years ago. So it just
maybe more. I
transitioned.
Can't believe exactly when.
Yeah.
But it was later, not as younger, because I think when I was younger, even though I looked like him, I'm younger than him, so then I looked way younger. So people maybe recognized it, but they knew that it was, it can't be the guy from Taxi Driver again.
Yeah.
But now, even though there's he's like in his 70s.
Yeah. And he looks great still.
And people should be that lucky to have a career that long. I mean, he's done over 100 movies. He's been acting since, I don't know, when he was in his 20s.
Yes.
And nonstop, right?
Yeah, that's a long career for an actor.
Yeah, nonstop. How many careers have disappeared during those years?
I actually met him when he was up in Vancouver, BC, Canada. That's
really?
my hometown, yeah. And phenomenal guy. We were actually walking by. It was a whole bunch of us girls. We were having dinner at a restaurant, and I walked by the table, and he just went. And
I want you in my next movie, yo.
Yeah, I naturally was like, I wanted to say hi, but I also didn't want to be rude and interrupt him. And so I went, and he started to laugh because I stopped myself and I went, and then I gasped for air. I took this little deep breath in, and then I went, no. And I actually literally turned around and I said, hey, you know what? I wanted to introduce myself. And he goes, you should have done it like 10 minutes ago when you first got up from the table. I was like, I know, but he goes, I was hoping you were going to chicken out. And I said, no, absolutely not. And he goes, good choice. And we ended up talking with him. And
nice.
What a great guy. He invited us to the table. We were eating together and stuff. And just
that was nice.
And having some drinks and stuff. And I mean, he wasn't like that, what a lot of people think in maybe Hollywood, where he would be trying to pick you up or hitting on you and stuff like that. Such a gentleman, pulling in the chair for me. And
nice.
My friends invited us over, and just true gentleman.
Very
absolutely.
Nice. I've never met him, but I wonder what that would be like.
Yeah, I want to know what that would be like. What do you think he would say?
I don't know what to think, because there is a few people who don't see the resemblance. You know what
really?
I mean? And it's weird. And then they look at the picture, then they see it. But most people, right away were, like just in this production alone, the crew, the celebrities, the producer, everyone wanted pictures, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just were getting a kick out of it.
Yeah.
But I hope he sees. I mean, I wonder if I go, what a weird, to take a picture with him would be.
You got to reach out to him.
I do. I have to. I mean, I don't know if I'm sure he has, there's other people who look like the name, but I've never seen so close. You know, people put makeup and they make the face and New Yorkers.
Yeah.
But you know, when I was doing the show, the funny thing is they have this veteran makeup and hair people, you know, Hollywood types, you know what I mean? That's been there since 1909, you know? And they couldn't believe how much I looked. And then everybody's getting makeup and this. All they do is like comb my hair, the hair person, and put anti-shine. They didn't even put powder even on me.
Really?
It's for the show.
That's how
Anti-shine,
much.
you don't need anything. And this is what you saw. I showed you the picture. But it's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I was thinking I was going to be pampered a little bit. You know?
You're like, come on, I want this service.
And then nothing. It's like it was anti-shine. I didn't even know there was an anti-shine thing.
Yeah.
It's not like even base, you know, just so you don't shine on the camera. But it was very funny to do this. And in fact, they weren't using it. But when after I did my beat, right? They
This
said
is on Hilarity for Charity?
yeah, they said stay longer because they let most of the other actors go, and they said staying longer. We're probably going to use you at the end as a surprise, you know, because it was that good. And they didn't then decide to do it, but I had to stay all the way to the end
Yeah.
because they thought they were gonna. It went, you know, they got the reaction was so good that they thought maybe we could play something at the end.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I did not too long ago. I also do events, right?
Yep.
So I've done some for Red Bull. Red Bull
Okay.
for many times has hired me for special, like the Wax Museum. They take it private.
Yeah.
And then I walk around. People wanted pictures, and then I'd be next to the wax statue of De Niro, and they said, "Wow, you look. This guy doesn't. You look more like De Niro than this guy. Who's this guy?"
How does that feel to you?
It feels weird, but what can you do? I mean, either play along with it. Well, I had no plastic surgery.
Yeah.
As you can see, I didn't do anything. I don't know why it's happening, but it is.
Yeah.
So what can you do? I'm sure they go to De Niro and says, "Wow, you look so much like Gil. I wonder if you know that."
All right. You got to send him a message
What
and be
I'm-
like, guess who?
What I'm curious about
Mm-hmm.
is because Michael Che, the guy who does the news on, is one of the actors on Saturday Night Live and is the co-host on the news show, the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Weekend Update.
Yeah.
He took pictures. He was so excited, he couldn't believe it. So, and then the week after, De Niro is on that show. Does
Yeah.
the segment of,
That's right.
So I wonder if he said anything.
I know. Well, you have to find out.
I don't know because I don't have his info. But I mean, he was so excited when he
Yeah.
was talking to me and stuff, and couldn't believe it. He must have.
He had to have said
probably.
something.
I hope he said something.
He had to have.
Because it was just like a week apart, and he was he was just.
6 degrees of separation. Look how close that is. It's just, nothing happens by accident. And
Yeah,
that's the thing.
it's surprising, and so I did a few weeks back. I did a dental convention.
Okay.
It's like an international dental convention,
Okay.
and some multi-billion-dollar dental implant company or a product company
Yeah.
did the party for the event, and it was at LA Live, so it's next to the
Okay.
what do you call it? They call it the Microsoft
Yes.
whatever, right next to what is LA Live, right there.
Right there.
So that huge party, and they have people from all over the world coming for this dental convention.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't believe, young and old, men and women, they can't stop wanting pictures with De Niro. It's unbelievable.
That is
I was
amazing.
walking around, they all want picture. The president of this whole organization, like-
So when people approach you, do you tell them that you're not him or do you say you are?
No, I tell them I'm not him. I don't even say sometimes anything, but I keep telling them they don't care. It's just like it doesn't matter.
No, it's a fantasy.
They're living their own fantasy as
Yeah.
De Niro 30, 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the middle range where, around casino time maybe or even
Yeah.
before. And they love it. They just love that situation, that look. And
Yeah.
I obviously oblige them. I don't mind to make them happy for a while.
It's all about perception too, and I mean, especially in a world of social media, it's perception. So if I take a picture with you and I put it on social media and I don't title it, people will assume because my association with celebrities that I was with De Niro.
Yeah.
So I mean, we could do it in one of two ways, and so it's interesting how people and they'll go, "Oh no, that was De Niro, wasn't it?" I have my friend.
I get that a lot. I tell you, I do photography, which I
Yeah.
like, and I did a recent photo shoot of this actress, dancer, nice person, and she took a picture of me,
Yeah.
put it on Instagram and Facebook. Within minutes, she had, I think, 700 responses.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of people, and a lot of them thought she was with De Niro.
Of course.
And there was no setup. I just like took a selfie with her, you know.
Yeah. Well, we met at a Hollywood party at
Yes, we
Christmas
did.
time,
That's
correct?
right. Yeah, way back. Yeah.
The Magic Image Hollywood
Magazine, whatever, yeah.
with Joss and
Yeah.
Solicito. But I mean, it was phenomenal because when you actually you were in the party already, and I was working on the red carpet, and you caught my eye, and I just remember turning, and then I was like, wow, and I could not tell the difference.
Oh, really?
And, no,
wow, I didn't know that you even.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think I put up a picture somewhere and I didn't put anything. I just put it with a whole bunch of different pictures and everyone was like, wow. So, I mean, you're living in this celebrity world. So you are an actor. What are your favorite type of movies to do?
I like a lot of different movies. I mean, some just fun movies, you know. I would say one of my favorites, which is not a new movie, but I like the styling of it. And the whole thing is like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The Western, just the way that the director, Sergio Leone, I think one of my favorite directors, he found so many people, actors, maybe they were not even actors, some of them. Yeah. Just the faces alone. Just created a character in every one of these people.
Okay.
And it's just like a favorite movie. There's a lot of favorite movies that I like. I mean, from Blazing Saddles, I like. You know, there's a lot of even serious movies. You know,
Yeah.
but I love movies. I mean, I used to go continuously to movies. I mean, as a kid, you know. My dad used to take us to movies. And we used to create movies as even at 5 years old, you know, create the part with me and my brothers, would fight over who would be the good guy and the bad guy because the good guy wins, you know. You know, to recreate the movie we just saw. Let's say we saw whatever it was back then, you know, an action movie or whatever, and each one wanted to be the character, you know, to play it out after the movie. So, yeah, I've always loved entertainment, movies, stuff like that. And I also branched into management. I manage a few writer-directors. Okay. Trying to make TV and movie projects. Some of them have done indie movies, stuff like that. And it's exciting. It's creative. You have to, you know, it's a high, and it's like a, you know, when you pitch like for a big company, let's say I've pitched to some major, like, you know, people have done like Jerry Bruckheimer films have done like, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever. And it's exciting to pitch, but, you know, it's like you're on crack or something. I've never been on crack, but I'm just saying you're very high, you know, very excited, right? You're pitching a movie that could cost maybe $100 million. And you're very excited, and they're excited. You know, it went well, right? And it comes, over the weeks, you're talking back and forth, and then it doesn't happen. So that's a crash, you know what I mean? It's like crash and burn. But it's the moment to create it, to get it moving. The thrill. And it's a numbers game anyway. Sooner or later, you hope something will just, you know, pull through. But the excitement is just, it's just like a performance. When you pitch something, it's like a performance. You can't just, you know, talk like you're putting people to sleep. Yeah. Because you want them to get excited about the story.
Of course.
And then you have to kind of get them and give them everything without being blatant. You know what I mean? It's so, you know, and that's what a lot of times happens, and you're very excited because they are into it, you know what I'm saying? They get into it. And that's the excitement of the stuff is to be able to get even out of that something, you know? Yeah. Like they tell people when they audition, if you look at it as a performance, and you can enjoy it, right?
That's right.
And then, you know, because it's like, you know, it's a million people trying to do it, right?
I couldn't do it. I mean, I like the acting, and I like the roles where people see me and they're like, you have a great look, and you know martial arts, you know this, you know that, and we're going to put you in this film. For me, auditioning is like writing tests. I don't
think anybody likes auditioning. Of course, when you achieved something or somebody really is into you. Yeah. I mean, there've been like, Natalie Portman, I think she was picked. She was eating, I think, in a cafe with her mom.
Yes, that's right.
And they, you know, that's okay. So that's, how many people, we should all be that lucky, right? Exactly. That's, you know, all of a sudden somebody passes you by and says, oh, you're the one. You don't have to audition. Hey, just come on down. Yeah. You're the one, like some of those models, you know, supermodels. I was on the beach, not working, getting a tan, and somebody passed by, and the next thing I know, I'm the cover of Vogue, you know?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm getting millions for Revlon or something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it wasn't that difficult for me. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Did you take acting classes?
I took a few, but, you know, everybody acts in life.
Yeah.
You don't. It's just because people get shy in front of a camera. But think of all the things you do, acting wise in life,
Yep.
to get something.
To get something,
You
to
always-
lie, to get out of situations, to police officers pull you
Yeah,
over.
come
I
on.
mean,
It's
we're always
ingrained
acting.
in people.
Yeah.
The way you speak, your emotions.
Yes.
So I think
True.
if you like it a lot, then sooner or later you're gonna get over this camera thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They get you just like they get you in some of those reality. They create a lot of this fake reality, right? But they get you mad like beforehand, so you
Yeah.
can create drama. Like
Yeah.
there was no drama a minute ago, but they told you something just to piss you off,
Yeah.
to create drama in the moment.
Absolutely.
You know, and then you forget yourself for those seconds, and then you're embarrassed what you did. You know what I'm saying? But they got it on tape.
Sometimes we're like, yeah, you look back and you're like, what did I just do?
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
But they're all set up to get you going. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Because if they have no drama, what
Yeah.
what do they got?
It's boring.
Yeah, and especially to watch people just drinking the cocktails and talking is not. You know, they got to create something, right?
I think about reality TV. What are your thoughts about reality TV?
I'm not that into it. You know, I get bored very easily with that, and it's the
Yeah.
same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
It's a different title, and but it's like the same thing. You know.
Yeah.
And I think people watch it is because they want to feel they're superior to others in a sense. Like we'll never be that dumb. You know what I mean? We'll never make that dumb decision. We're never going to embarrass ourselves that much.
Yeah.
And but at the same time they're watching this, and I think it gives them this kind of feeling of being smart. You know what I mean? You know, being smarter or you know, and a way to maybe take out their frustrations.
Okay.
Because otherwise, I mean, you look at them and it's so. I don't think there's one reality show that's not faked up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That they say, okay, Tracy, you got to go back in there. Nobody wants to watch. You know, you
Yeah.
being so nice.
You
know
gotta
what I'm
go in
saying?
and
You
stir some
yeah,
stuff
Yeah,
up
you know what
and-
she did? She's a fool around with
You gotta
your
piss somebody
ex-boyfriend
up.
from
Yeah.
Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. You know, your kid is their
Milwaukee.
kid. It's all, you know.
Yeah.
You know, something to stir you up. But the funny thing about reality is that people can become super rich for doing nothing.
I know. Okay, so let's go into that because I've never been into watching the Kardashians. The only reason I watch the Kardashians now, I don't even watch TV, but because I'm in the change room, so I work out every day.
Yeah.
And the Kardashians are on every time I
Oh,
get,
they put them on TV.
they're on TV. So I'm in and I'm thinking to myself, but I'm watching it because I'm mesmerized because I don't watch TV in the first place. But I'm thinking, these people are just day to day, just doing stuff and just sitting at a table talking. I don't understand.
But you know,
how.
I've watched some of this episode and I get bored, really bored, because
Yeah.
they're talking about nothing and they're trying to create like drama, like something is that important, but their life is not in danger. You know, they're trying to talk
Yeah.
like if they get the wrong hairstyle, their life is in danger. Like if they got the wrong color, if the nails were done bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On top of it, let's face it, the only problem with reality shows, I see some young people see them as role models, which
Yes.
it makes them not want to go to get any education or anything.
Yeah.
Because they said, and not even be an athlete, which is even another, easy exit for some. But what I'm saying is, they don't want to, so basically, this family you mentioned, what did it? One sex tape got them to where they are today. So
Yeah.
they are, wherever they got, it wasn't that they saved somebody from like drowning. It wasn't that they helped the homeless. It was them doing a sex tape that brought the whole family make money.
Yeah.
To make money. And I saw one episode. And I can't believe this silliness, this ridiculousness. One sister, and this is, I don't know if it's your audience, is rolling quarters in the crack of her other sister's rear.
Rolling quarters?
Yeah, quarters. Like I'm sliding them. Like what is it, a machine or something? I'm saying that is
Wow.
the episode. What I'm saying is something like that. It's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
what happened is now it gives a false false impression to young people,
Yes.
thinking, you know what, I do something like that, I'll get
Yeah.
famous, I don't have to work anymore.
Yeah.
Because how do these people make money? Licensing, basically licensing their names or stuffing for products, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to do anything. And it shows you the credibility of major magazines that put them on the cover.
Yeah.
Why are
Yeah.
they now a symbol of like, this and that of
Absolutely.
credibility. From
Yeah.
what? From what exactly?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From what? I mean, yeah, fine. They got an easy life. They accomplish it. And it's funny. For every one sex tape that gets, it's really only one or two that made it, right?
Yeah.
Paris Hilton and the Kardashians. Other sex tapes
True.
got people nowhere, right? Tell me another person that.
Yeah.
So it's
I think
not.
Pamela Anderson for a minute.
No, but
got-
she was already
Yeah.
before that. She
Yeah.
already had the name because of Playboy.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, okay, so for 2 out of what, 1 million,
Yes.
and plus, that the Kardashians already were famous. They didn't know they were famous. I mean, they were in the. The father was a famous lawyer for the celebrities.
Yeah.
So they were already in the crew, and I think she was hanging out with Paris Hilton even before. So she was trying to get the headlines. I guess Paris, I'm getting attention, not you,
Yeah.
right?
She's
so
like,
Karda-
do
now,
me a sex tape.
yeah. So after you, I think by accident it's gonna slip out.
By accident.
Yes, with the address correctly sent to whoever needs to
Right.
to promote
It's like
this.
CC to everybody.
Yes. I hope I put enough postage.
Right?
No, but I'm saying this is a
Yeah.
role model. So, when people, there's nothing wrong with trying to have a career in arts or in
Yes.
athletics, but if you are thinking that that's all you're going to do,
Yeah.
I mean, the ratio is so low. It's 1 to what 100, maybe like a lottery. Think of how many people have their success.
Yeah.
Even if it's you can discuss whether they deserve it or not, because they haven't done much. They have to show up, right? They have
Yeah.
to show up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
basically the requirement for their job, right?
Yes. Exactly.
And so what happens is all these young people they look at this, and so maybe after high school they say, who cares about the job? I mean,
Yeah.
who cares about a career? I mean, but how you sustain it, unless you're from very rich, wealthy people who can just put you on a monthly whatever.
Yeah.
How are you going to
Little
sustain
allowance.
that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of people come. It's hard enough as it is, even if you had training and you graduated.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's very difficult, and that's why a lot of people have side jobs or do other businesses or
yep.
whatever, because that's they say 3% of the actors in the union work. And I'm talking actors out of the union, and there's
Yeah.
like over 150,000.
I know.
It's funny that it's sad. It's very sad.
It is
You
sad.
think that the union,
Yeah.
with so many people, with so much production now, there's a huge amount of production
Yeah.
now, much more than ever. Because of every cable and Netflix are
Every
doing more and more
networks.
shows,
Yep.
which means more and more acting, more and more crews, more and more. And yet, this union can't get. You'd be embarrassed if it's 3%. You'd say at least 50%.
You would think.
At
exactly.
least, I mean, it's a union
Yeah.
that pays dues. 100,000+ people pay dues, but only less than 3,000 make a living.
Yeah.
And
I know.
living out of it.
It's sad. It's really sad. And I want to touch back on, like we're talking about the Kardashians and stuff like that. We're using them as an example because as an entrepreneur and a businesswoman, for me, I look at that and I see, the millennials are looking at this and it promotes laziness and it promotes, not having that drive and that determination to really get up and go. And it's not even working smarter than harder. It's not working hard or smart because there's nothing that's being applied there. And it's sad that, something like this is such a huge thing for people because I was sitting in there mesmerized and being an analytical person,
Yeah.
I thought, wow, if there's this percentage of our children watching this and thinking this is okay to sit on a couch and absolutely do nothing and watch them eat and do nothing all day. I just thought, no wonder that our children growing up now at this day and age are lazy. And because, they're seeing this and they're mirroring this image and it's kind of saying it's okay to just do nothing and sit back. But I don't think, they really realize what's going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of money and these, the
But,
families.
so this is work for some reason because they're selling a fantasy.
Yeah.
The fantasy is this. These people are doing nothing, and they embarrass themselves. By
Yeah.
embarrassing themselves, you laugh at this. By laughing at this, you're watching the show. And then it transcends that because more money is coming in from licensing than the show,
Yeah.
But I've never bought any product from them because I don't see what the reason is to do that. But I'm sure there's a lot of young people who have bought because they would be this rich
Yeah.
if nobody bought anything, right? So people are setting are buying that, what the media and what
They're buying the fantasy.
the background, what the behind the scenes people are trying to do was to create credibility for them, like they're you know, some kind of credible role models that you should emulate.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
and what are you emulating? Because you're emulating persons that, what do they do most of the time? Okay, I have photo shoot. Oh, yes, I have to look over my designs that somebody else designed for my fashion line that I'm not even, some company is selling. You know, my nail
designer, but
polish.
behind the
I mean,
guy that
it's
designed it.
incredible that even the sisters, they have sisters that got so many people following them.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, a lot of times they're trying to tell you who your role models are. They're not trying to have you choose, to have you decide yourself, and put peer pressure, subtle, it's pressure, strong, but not like in your face pressure, like saying, for example, when they choose a model on the cover of a magazine, they're telling you, oh, she's the most pretty in the world, right?
Yeah.
But who's decided that? A few people on the magazine.
Yeah.
Not the
few
world.
people.
Nobody's decided. But then they put the pressure by saying, if you don't, then you're out of the loop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to benefit like others if
In
you,
life,
you know what I'm
too.
saying? It's like people driving certain cars.
Yeah.
This is created to push you to do something rather than to you choosing to do something.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny you say that because yesterday I saw we were driving back from work and I saw a guy driving a yellow Corvette and it said not rented, not leased, paid in cash.
Wow.
And I didn't get a picture of it because I was so shocked that I've never seen anyone do that before. And my friend and I were having this conversation because when I first came to America about 4.5 years ago from Canada, I was shocked to see, you know, there's a lot of money in Canada and Vancouver, and a lot of people drive nice cars and things like that, and they pay for them in cash. And then everybody was telling me that people lease cars, or, you know, I noticed a lot of people driving older BMWs or Volvos or whatever, even though they were like from the 80s or 90s, but just to say they drove a BMW.
That's right.
And so I really didn't realize how impressionable, you know, being in this country was because, you know, again, people are, you have to drive like this or that. And I rolled up in my Honda, and I remember someone said to me the first time, they go, you drive up to like red carpets like in that car? I go, well, I don't drive up to the red carpet, but yes, I drive my car to my event that I'm working.
Yes.
And I thought that was so interesting. And I sat back and I kind of thought about it. And then it made me want to drive my car to every event because I thought I am not defined by what I drive, and I am who I am, and I'm very successful. And it doesn't matter what I drive. And then another person said to me, oh, well, you're very humble. It's very humbling to see you drive. I mean, my car is not a bad car, but I thought, wow, it's interesting that somebody would say that to me because you are who you are, and I'm not defined by anything.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, my views or my ideas. But, you know, it could be, too, that people who feel the need to do that, to fit in or to get ahead,
absolutely.
also feel guilty that they can't help themselves to do that. And so when a comment like this to you may be also because they want you to do the same thing, so they feel less guilty that they're like that. It's true. You know, that artificial, have to be that artificial to feel that they'll move ahead that way.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And so it's like the gang mentality is like the gang does things bad, right? Let's say gang. And if somebody speaks out against it, is either beaten up, berated, kicked out, or shut down? Because then it spoils the whole thing because everybody's like doing something that's wrong. And then nobody wants to point it out, you know what I'm saying? Because then it's obvious and it doesn't feel right, you know, type of thing. So you have to, you know, cover it up and nobody says something, you know?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with that situation where, you know, everybody's got all this things they feel they
false
need to do
image and,
to create that, you know what I'm saying? It's like prices are ridiculous where people feel that something more expensive is more valuable. It's a false belief because you don't know how they make this product.
Yeah.
And you don't know that some people are more efficient, you know. They may have, none of them may have used slave labor. Who knows what it is? But I'm just talking about the product. How can a bag cost $4,000?
Yeah.
A handbag.
I know.
There's nothing in it that's $4,000.
Yeah.
It's not the cover. It's leather with some metal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see when it's like actual snake skin or like alligator or
no,
something
but
like
even that.
And that's ridiculous because it's like in
no, unless it was
or
all
something.
diamond covered. The $4,000 is just to tell you that you when you buy that bag,
statement.
You're showing off that you're richer than your neighbor or whatever, or you're just at that level or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people who actually spend more money leasing their expensive car and live in a dump. And they never bring anybody over.
Thank
so
you.
They seem like they are like living in Beverly Hills with this fancy car, and they're doing really well. And there's pressure on this. There's pressure on people. You go and you feel it too, even though you don't want to fall for it. You feel it too anywhere. It's not just in Hollywood. In success, in business or whatever, in your neighbors, everything you want to somehow want to, at least the impression that you're doing better or that you're successful, all that stuff. And it's society. It's part of human nature, I guess, to do this. But it's more prevalent in big cities, I think. Where people are chasing, and they also the pressure is because, and now it's kind of changing, I think. But the young people, it's gonna be, if you do it while you're young, if you're like 30 or above, it's too late for you.
Yeah.
Although now, because you have like 70 or 80 million baby boomers, and these are people of like 64 and after they're born.
Yep.
But this is the time where I think both parents worked, so they have much bigger wealth than any time.
That's true.
So they have like trillions of dollars of wealth that now businesses want to get to.
Yeah.
So you see a lot more, I think, acceptance of older women starring in things. You have people like Charlize Theron, she's over 40.
Yep.
And other people over 50.
Yeah.
You have, what's her name? Jane Fonda
Sharon
and all this
Stone
stuff. She's
did.
70.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone is in her 50s.
Yeah.
The one who just won what's her name? I know her name. The one who won the Oscar for Best Actress.
Oh.
What's her name?
And someone help us here.
Well,
come to us. Yeah.
She is not 25.
No.
But she won the Oscar.
Yes.
And the movie did pretty well for independent. It did really well for independent.
I think like middle-aged women are actually, still doing phenomenal. And it's funny in Hollywood because people are like, oh, lie about your age. And, they're like my acting age and my real age.
Yes, right.
And I was like, oh, how does that work? Like, how do you actually do that? And a lot of people get away with it. But I don't really think that it's as prevalent as it used to be, from what I can see, because there's so many amazing women that, are more mature in their age and they're still doing phenomenal. Sharon Stone, I mean, just even like they're taking on the mother roles and things like that.
And they also, a lot of them look very good.
Yes.
They keep in shape.
Yes.
They're healthy.
Yeah, 30, 40s is the new 20. Absolutely.
And think of it, even it's funny, this age thing is ridiculous. You know why? Because people can relate. You like James Cameron. When he did Titanic, he was in his 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
And he was doing for 12-year-old girls, basically. That movie was mostly for young girls who feeling, to live in a fantasy world about the sacrifice that guy would make for you.
Yeah.
Although, they made fun of him because at the end, and he said, he was joking about it too. She's laying on this huge piece. She could have like 5 people on it, and she lets him freeze.
She's like, nah,
I don't know. I need my space. I need my space.
Yeah, she's like, float away.
Yes.
Minion.
Anyway, all the good parts are frozen now.
Yeah, that's not gonna work anymore.
And that's why I'm gonna. But I'll think about you.
Yeah.
But now, and then he later made Avatar, which was even older. It's like 60 maybe. And he's doing it for young people, and they're buying into it.
Yeah.
So if there is a disconnect between, the age gap, then how do they buy it into it?
Yeah, that's true.
How did they buy into
it? That's true.
And it's funny, you look at, there's also, I don't know if there's more, but probably more couples where the woman is older than the guy. And look at the French guy.
Yeah.
The French guy
it's happening a lot more.
His wife is like, what, 20 years older than him?
At least, yeah.
I mean, and it's acceptable. He got elected.
Yeah, yeah.
America, they have this too. As much as they have this, which you see a lot, like probably in Malibu, there's like 90, like a Hugh Hefner, where he's like, oh, it's 20-year-old girlfriend. And if she knew if she was 20, it's probably too old for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she probably goes along with it because he probably falls asleep after 2 minutes and goes shopping.
He's like, and she's like, and he's asleep. I'm out.
Yeah, and you tell him later he lasted at least 5 minutes. But what I'm saying is, but you see also sometimes, and I think it's more prevalent when older women are younger men. Cher is known for that. Come on.
Yeah.
Cher.
No, I mean,
and
I
more
am
and
totally
more.
not against
So,
it.
I'm not against it too. So I'm just saying it does. Also, I think happens more and more now.
Yeah.
And it's acceptable. And it's also funny. I think a few years ago they wrote about it where Billy Crystal was still making movies and starring in them because they say that there's a certain movie-going audience that's older that it's an event for them to go out of the house. I don't care if they have the biggest screen in the house. They have a home theater, the size of a city.
Yeah.
they're going out. It's like a date, and it's like it's fun, and it's like enjoyable. And they actually make some movies big hits. They are responsible, the percentage that go to it, to certain movies succeeding.
Yeah. It is funny because when I go into movies, I always watch to see. I'm actually more interested to see who's going to see the movies and what age groups and gaps, like Dirty Grandpa and like movies like that. I mean, they're hilarious. You've got younger kids, you've got older people, you know, and it's amazing to see because there's just such a wide variety. I mean, entertainment can fill into so many, you know, gaps of life. It's such a great thing. What are your favorite movies? Action, comedy?
I like a lot of things. I like action. I do like action.
Yeah, me too.
It's such an escape, you know.
Yeah.
But I do like dramas that have a message. Mm-hmm. I do, you know, all kinds of like, you know, all kinds of movies that affect you one way or another, make you think at least. I like movies that you want to talk about it afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you leave it, you're not enough to go. You're not going to sleep. You want to be able to talk to somebody about it. You know, have a decent conversation about it, and it's just to get it out. You know, to discuss it. You know, it gave you such a rush, and it get you thinking that you can spend a couple hours talking about it afterwards, which is fun. I love that.
Do you remember the last one that you actually made you want to have that conversation after?
You know, maybe if you put some movies out there, I can't off the top of my head, but there's a lot of movies, you know, I like. You know, and I say this on movies: if you're gonna make a movie, and you can't make it 100% good, make sure you make a killer ending, because it's more important to have a killer ending than a killer beginning. Because if you said to somebody the movie takes off really good, then dies. You don't want to see it. But if you say the movie starts slow, but then the ending is, leaves you breathless. Are you going to see which movie you're going to see?
That's true. Very true. Because, you know, it's like kind of, you know, sleeper
you want
the
payoff. You want a payoff.
Yeah.
You want a payoff.
Yeah.
You want to know that you went in there and you might have slept for the 3/4 of it. Yeah. But the ending just woke you up like nothing else.
Oh, yeah. I like that when you're like, wow, okay, I can get into this.
Yeah,
and that's true.
And that's why they had that whole idea. I don't know if it's still there because the world becoming more of a one place with the internet. Mm-hmm. But they used to say the European movies are more realistic or more like are slower, and the U.S. movies are more fantasy and faster.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I always make fun of European movies, especially the French. They always have to have windshield wipers and the guy and the guy arguing, you know, in the rain or whatever. Right?
Yeah,
they gotta have that scene. Always
have the rain.
You know, something is going on.
That's funny. That's true.
But I guess it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, movies are fantastic. I mean, a lot of people like entertainment. You know, there's many ways to receive entertainment, but it's still entertainment. Mm-hmm. Nothing really effective change, but storytelling is storytelling.
Yeah.
I mean, the stories of humanity have stayed there. You know, I'm sure a caveman had similar issues than people today have, you know, about love, about relation. You know what I'm saying? They had this need and their feeling, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have a car.
Yeah.
They had one of those, what do you call those, a Flintstone
vehicles, bedrock cars.
You know, rolling around in it and say, is that electric or manure run? You know, is it dinosaur manure or electric?
He's got his bat.
It's just like, but I don't think a lot of that has changed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's why a lot of these stories, people respond or act according to emotions rather than thinking.
That's
right. Almost never do you think first before you emotionally think. Mm-hmm. You have to feel movies, music, partners, you know, otherwise it's artificial, you know what I mean? Yeah. And also what you do, even for whether it's greed or whatever it is, it's still emotion. It's driven by emotion. Yeah. Then you rationalize it in your head.
Yeah, we're
to go forward with it. But if it's not driven by emotion, it's almost impossible to sell you anything.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know what I mean? A car, let's say you're buying a car, because it's emotion, it makes you feel something.
Yeah.
I feel special. I feel rich.
We're getting something from it.
Yeah. And the same thing, all life is like that.
Yeah.
From kids to any you know what I'm
love
saying?
to business to travel to buying
to anything you do, actually.
Clothes.
Yeah, anything you do. I mean, that's why they say, what they say about if you do a work you like, it doesn't feel like work.
Absolutely.
And that's the problem with most work. Most people don't like the work, you know, because, you know, certain work are not that exciting.
Yeah.
And so, and people feel they need to do certain things, you know, because, you know, you have to pay bills, as they say. Even if your name is not Bill, you have to pay bills. I don't know who came up with that stupidity.
Who was that person?
Who was the person who came up with the idea of bills too? I would have sent him.
Scrap all
I
of
would
it,
exile
all of
that
it.
person to an island somewhere. Who came up with the idea that's like taxes
we're
and
putting
bills
you over there.
and all that stuff. I mean,
Right.
I mean, and it's funny. A lot of those people who make these rules don't seem to abide by them either.
They don't.
You know, taxes. No.
Yeah.
You know, but what they said one time, one of these corporations, this multinational they not only did not pay tax, like 100 billion or more, did not pay taxes. They got a rebate from the government.
Yeah.
And the lowest paid employee, the window washer, or whoever is the lowest paid, paid more taxes than a $100+ billion a year corporation.
That is,
Isn't that insane? And they didn't let that guy off the hook like the IRS.
No.
You know, they let the corporation off.
Yeah, it's insanity when you look at it. Do you love what you do?
I do. Otherwise, you know, it's not as easy as you make it look. I wish it was.
Thank you.
I mean, certain people, you know, things happen. You know, there's like, you have to be at the right place at the right time, they say. The easiest thing to decide is the right place. You know where all the studios are. You know what this, but the right time. Nobody knows that.
Absolutely.
No, until it happens.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the right time. Now, luck, I believe there's luck in life, but luck is that thing of being in the right place at the right time. But you go, if you don't know when luck hits you, but at least you can try to head to the direction or
It's
try
true.
and get somewhere, because you know you have to, you know, life can be scary when you're trying to do something that's difficult to accomplish, and at the same time flies, you know. Imagine how fast time goes.
Absolutely.
And so it's a very kind of balancing act, you know. And at least you don't go completely crazy, a little bit crazy, but not completely crazy trying to do that.
Get a little uncomfortable of being comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's the one thing that I've learned. It's like that feeling, you know, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it, and change. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine on the weekend, and you know, I was talking about these changes and all these things that I'm doing, and you know, stepping up and trying new things, and really just branching out. And he said, I don't know what that's like because I've only done one thing. And I couldn't imagine what it would feel like. And you're actually really lucky that you're able to do these things, because I'm stuck in this one thing and I don't have any other areas of expertise or talents or abilities. And I said, that's absolutely not true. I said, what else are you good at? What do you like? Do you like to read? Do you like to write? Do you like to, you know, sitting down, talking about all these things, and we were exploring these things. And he was like, wow, you opened my mind to something so different, because I never thought that I could branch into anything else because I didn't think I was good at anything else.
Yeah,
and what's your passion?
Exactly. And some people either hide, they don't want to admit their passion because they're embarrassed, like that
Fear.
it's not, they can't make money in it, or they, you know, fear.
Yeah.
But some people ask, you know, that I know, and they're not young even, middle age or 30, says, I'm interested in nothing. I said, okay, so what do you like? Then they say, I don't know what I like, right? So I said, you know what? Try different things. Try a dance class. Try a painting class. Try a computer class. Try it. You can always leave it.
That's right.
Sooner or later, you'll find something that you're excited about, right? And then you can follow that dream, maybe.
Yeah.
But saying to yourself you don't like anything is that is basically being scared and trying to stick your head in the sand type of thing.
Yeah.
Where I don't want to face it because what if that answer is something that's difficult, or that may be difficult, or that embarrassing, or whatever it is.
Or the thought of fear of failing.
Oh,
And
yeah, it's
failing
a very big. And the pressure, for example, you know, I heard in Israel, the innovation is out of control. You know what I mean? They're innovating. WhatsApp is an Israeli invention. Waze is an Israeli. I mean, left and right. They invent things left and right. It's only a country of 8 million people, the size of New Jersey or smaller. It's nothing in the world thing. But you think of all the Nobel Prizes in science and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What makes them so innovative? And one of the things I read they said was that they built up such a tolerance for failure. In fact, they promote the fact that if you have a failure, it's a closer step to success. So instead of like sometimes in America, if you fail and it's embarrassing enough, they don't want to talk to you again.
Yeah.
But in that country, it seems that people can fail many times and they still give them a chance because they think they eliminated that, mistake, and
Oh,
they're getting
nice.
closer. And so in that type of environment, you don't feel scared to
Yes.
try again.
Yep.
There was a lady, and I think she did like 8 scientists. So it's
Okay.
not with business, but they're very successful in business. It's like starts up left and right there.
Mm-hmm.
You can check. It's like non-believable the amount of things they come up with
Okay.
that helps the world, from agriculture, science. I mean, it's amazing.
Wow.
It's like, what is it, less than 1% or whatever, the world population, 8 million out of 7 billion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
8 billion is nothing. But there's one lady that she found something that, I think she won the Nobel Prize a few years ago, and she did like 10,000 experiments and failed until they're like the 10,000 experiment. That's like
Wow.
over 10 or more years.
Yeah.
But they didn't kick her out.
That's phenomenal. And to think like we're in this entertainment world, we're in Hollywood, in the midst of it. And it's like, and again, you think you make one wrong turn and you're shunned and you're kicked out of this. It's something that you've built your whole life. And no wonder people are afraid of failing.
But this industry works a lot on fear. So what
Yes.
happens when in the beginning you have nothing to lose. So you do, because nothing to lose, nobody cares.
Yeah.
But later, when you succeed, you're afraid because you have something to lose.
Yeah.
So you're less comfortable taking risks,
Yes.
right? Because you have something extra. Just like they say about marriages, like 3 to 5 marriages average in America.
Yeah.
They say, why do people stop remarrying, making the same mistake over?
Yeah.
It's because they have less years to work and have a retirement. So they're afraid they'll lose that retirement.
True.
So they don't divorce anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they'll leave alone. But I mean, I'm saying it's not the reason like they figured out what they're doing over and over again.
They haven't figured out the problems and the solution to fixing the
They
mistake.
just repeat the mistake until
They're like, I'm staying.
The money situation, like they'll get to an age where they can't really play this game anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in Hollywood, you think of it, they don't really know how to choose good or bad. They just make choices, okay?
Yeah.
And they rely on scapegoats. For example, if you do something with Spielberg and it doesn't work, or James Cameron, and you still get a job.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the most successful people.
course.
Nobody's going to throw you out.
Yeah.
But if you're not a friend anymore, you're out, okay? But listen, if they knew the formula for hits, TV, movies, whatever you want to call it, everyone would be on.
Yeah.
Why isn't only a few out of all that they try?
True.
Okay, they have a chance because of their money to try multiple times in a year. And usually certain formulas work, okay?
Yeah.
So, and sometimes the movies they think don't work, and those that they think don't work, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is, and they also drive things to death and then rebring, like the horror movies, like those Friday or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Friday
Saw
13th.
and Friday and Nightmare and every time, Get Out, he'll drive it till, nobody wants to see it
done.
anymore, then 5 years later they bring it back.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they sit there, and let's say you're a studio head or a TV network, and you decide on a bunch of stuff with a group, right? And hope that one of two or whatever makes it. Because think of it, what I call a signature show. There's a lot of junk on Netflix, on HBO, and every network.
Yeah.
Right? But you remember only the good stuff, right? Your mind doesn't want to say that, HBO will put Game of Thrones to get credibility, but a lot of the other stuff is junk.
Yeah, there's like 89%.
Yeah,
that's-
junk. And one show can make that place worth billions.
Yes. True.
Think of that.
True.
And every network, like when Seinfeld made it, or Home Improvement,
Yeah.
or Roseanne, or Two and a Half Men, or what do you call that one, that The Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
A network, it's lucky when a network has more than a few hits. Yet it makes them billions of dollars.
That's right.
Because then they raise for every other junk show they got more money because of that one.
True. True.
And so it's hard for you to name a lot of hit shows on any network. Think of
Yeah.
it. Can you name?
No.
You have your favorite, and then what you read about.
Yeah,
But you
that's
can't.
right.
So they have a lot of filler, right? A lot of
Fillers, that's the word. Yeah.
Fillers. They use them. We got 2 hours
We
left.
got that, yeah.
2 hours
2
left.
hours to talk.
Yes.
One last thing I want to talk about. How was it working with Seth Rogen?
It was fine. I only talked to him briefly because
Yeah.
he was I think producing it and starring in it.
Yeah.
So he had all these things to take care of.
He's busy.
But I what did he tell me? I said, you look so much like something like we chose you because you look like
Yeah, nice.
he also saw it. But I spent a lot more time talking to the other celebrities.
Yeah.
And they were just
Phenomenal.
Phenomena, very nice. But at the same time, they just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I heard also that like some of the, when they walked on stage, so they're watching the show behind the stage, right, before they walk on.
Yeah.
And some of them, when the camera came on me, thought I was the real one. And they were asking the crew people or the producer, did you bring De Niro? Is this the guy?
They're like, they brought De Niro. I love it.
I think it was, I love when that happens because it's like,
Yeah.
it's funny because I always test myself, do I not? And these people are like going berserk.
Amazing. Well, you have such a huge career ahead of you and a phenomenal man and great personality. And I mean, I see so many great things for you. And you're also going to help me get on that wonderful.
Thank you. And your career. I hope it blasts
you.
out to space. They
Thank
already
you.
screened one movie in space.
Yeah?
I think in the space station.
I did not know
Could
that.
be you, could be your next.
Okay, so number 2. All right,
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, why not?
Gil Ben-Zivi, he's on the
Okay.
show. We're going to let
You,
him. Actually,
over
we
there,
got
you.
some Quest nutrition in the
Oh,
back.
thank you.
And we got
Wow.
some SWAT fuel, so I'm going to give that to you.
Unbelievable. Look at
power
this.
up for your workouts.
8, not 6-pack, 8-pack coming my way. 8 packs.
10 pack. He's going to follow me.
That's right. Ice cube tray. Ice cube tray.
It's been an amazing show. Thank you so much for watching today. We're here every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the TLC Unleashed show and Hollywood Vibes Sports and Life on the Power of Voices. We'll see you next week. Thanks again to my special guest.
Thank you. You.